I've not thought about producing some instruction of my project yet, because in my opinion, giving some instruction is even more difficult than doing something if you have an idea. No, it's not the same. But what I can show you now is, if you look here now, just another thing I've modified of the model, just to have an easy access to the motor or to the battery, because the battery needs to be charged periodically, is this. Just if you look at this, the model is almost complete, but just doing two simple actions, I just remove this from here, okay, and the other one, the other one from there, and this and this were pushed inside the two pieces of Lego here, just to connect them. So if you in this situation, if you want to rebuild completely the model, just push this and this, this and this, and reconnect the two wings, let's call them so, to here and to here, here, here and here. So it's very easy to remove them and to open the, and to have an easy access of to the motorized. This access is this one. Okay, as you can see here, we have a battery, 12-volt battery, connected to this switch, to this switch, Lego switch, modifying the end of the cable, because this is the cable, this is the cable of the switch, but the cable of this switch now terminates with in this way, just to connect it to the battery. This is the battery, the 12 or 4 or 14 volt battery. So now this is connected to the battery here, and connected to the switch we have one cable which is connected directly to the lights, to the lights in front of the car, because maybe you've not noted this in my previous video, but when I make the motor move here, we have also the lights on here. Okay, so one is connected to the to the light, the other one is connected to the motor. The motor is here. Do you see it? Just right between the two seats. So this is the end, the final part of the motor. The motor goes until the first gear, the first yellow gear of the engine. Then that gear runs against another gear behind it, and then everything goes through the gearbox. When you mount, you have to mount all this. I have already speak of until now, following the original instruction, but when you go after the gearbox, so in this part lower, but in this part, so at the end of the gearbox, if you go on the instruction of Lego, the gearbox, the mounting of the gearbox ends with a very big gear that runs against a very small gear mounted on the central axle. The central axle connecting the rear wheels and the front wheels. This is not good, because this is good if you just as I already told in my previous video. This is good only if you push the model by hand, because if you push the model by hand, you make the very small gear run, which is the one mounted in the central axle, running against the very big one, which is the termination of the gearbox, and then everything goes reversing until the motor. This is a very easy and lower ratio, a very easy way to move all the parts inside the car if you push the car. But if you want to make the movement go from here to the wheels at the terminated point, so after the gearbox, you would face a very big gear obliged to run against a very small gear connecting to the wheels, and this is a very hard ratio to move. So the gearbox will surely crack, will surely not run, which you would go easily to the very limit of resistance of all the materials inside the car. We don't want that. We want to make the motor running very fast, but the ratio after this must be low, must be easy. So just switch the position between the very small gear and the very big gear after the gearbox. Then remount the gearbox. Maybe you will need to I don't know in English, but reduce the dimension of a piece of Lego behind the very big gear if you switch the position, because if you switch the position between the very small gear, the very big gear, you have the sensation that the very big gear doesn't fit perfectly in the new position. So just to make it fit perfectly, you have to reduce with a sort of paper, very abrasive paper, the piece of Lego behind it. It's just an artisanal. You're obliged to do something artisanal if you want to do what I did. So just do it. Then connect. Just be creative. Connect an M motor, modified M motor, to this engine. Here's the battery. Here's the switch, and then the car should go just like my car goes. After this, we have to put a servo motor here to switch the gears, and a servo motor here to rotate the front wheels, a remote control, and then the car goes perfectly.